Avengers Infinity War, released in 2018, and it's directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, who also directed other MCU films like Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Captain America: Civil War. And they're also going to be directing Avengers 4, which was originally Avengers Infinity War Part 2, but then the titles changed, and now it's all a big secret, but yeah, they're coming back for the next one. And it's going to be awesome. This film stars... oh boy, let me see if I can do this. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, starring the voices of Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch, Chadwick Boseman, Tom Holland, Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, Anthony Mackie, Denny Guria, Letitia Wright, Sebastian Stan, and Thanos himself, Josh Brolin. Good God, that's a lot of people. And it's a lot of people for good reason. This is the 10-year anniversary. It all began with Iron Man back in 2008, and then we got that little end credit scene where Samuel L. Jackson came out as Nick Fury and said, hey, I want to talk about the Avengers Initiative. And all the comic book nerds in the crowd were like, oh! And everyone else in the crowd who stuck around for the credits was like, what? And ever since then, the MCU, every single Marvel movie that has come out, has been a massive success. From the first Avengers film, which no one thought was possible, all the way up to this year with Black Panther, which did even more money than that. Whatever deal that they made with the devil, it worked for them. They have had so many great films that even the crappy ones in the series, like Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3 in my opinion, even they were enjoyable at times. But just looking over the list of all the MCU films that have come out, really, there's not a terrible MCU film. They're all at least good. And when you're thinking about your reaction to movies, you want them to be good. But Marvel has done it so many times with this franchise that you're like, well, it was just good, and that's a disappointment. This film wasn't just good, it was great. It was magnificent. It blew my mind how fantastic this movie was and how great that they did of weaving everyone in and out. And I am so excited to talk about Avengers Infinity War that I forgot to mention that this is episode 86 of Caleb Watches Movies. We are right around the corner from episode 100, and today we are talking about the last movie that I saw in theaters, which, if you can't already tell already, was Avengers Infinity War, at least from the time of this recording. And I couldn't be more pumped to talk about a recent release than this movie. So Avengers Infinity War picks off right where Thor Ragnarok leaves off. Thanos, who is the Mad Titan, is on the search in the galaxy to find the 6 Infinity Stones. These are very powerful singularities that were sent off when the universe began, and he wants to collect them all and harness the power to balance the universe. And that is all I want to say, because I do not want to spoil this film for any of you who have not seen it. Which I don't think there's a lot of you out there, because this film set the record for the highest box office numbers in an opening weekend. Somewhere around the 250 million mark, which is just, wow, who would have ever thought that that would have been set by a comic book superhero movie? If you would have told me that Star Wars Episode 8 or 9 was going to set that, I would have been, yeah, absolutely, probably. But no, Avengers has got it. And I think it's going to sit up there for a very long time. At least till next year when Avengers 4 comes out. So this movie was an emotional roller coaster from start to finish, which right off the bat is something very jarring going into an MCU film. Typically MCU, it's very bright, it's very colorful, there's a lot of jokes in each film, which this film does have, by the way. There are plenty of laughs to be had while watching it. But on top of the humor, what was surprising to me about this movie was that this just goes into some dark places that you wouldn't think that the MCU would ever go. I mean, the closest thing that we've ever gotten to this dark, kind of serious tone would be like Black Panther or Captain America: Winter Soldier. With Black Panther, we have a very Shakespearean setting where we have two rival brothers fighting over a kingdom. And with Winter Soldier, it's a fun 70s type espionage political thriller. But if you know anything about Thanos from the comics, you know that he is obsessed with death. And when it comes to people dying in the MCU, that's kind of an oxymoron. Almost everyone who dies in these MCU films kind of come back later on. I think the only one who has died and has stayed dead is Thor's mother. Well, I guess Peggy Carter too, but she lived to be about 100, so I mean, what do you expect? But I guess to my point, while talking about Thanos, is that they didn't neuter this villain down, which is something that they've done in almost every single MCU film. They did it with the Dark Elves, they did it with Extremis, they did it with Ronan, they also did it with Ultron, whose name appears in the title of the movie. All of these villains were neutered. They didn't have like any screen time at all. We had no idea what their reasoning was for being evil, and if they tried to explain it, it was like, bullshit. Not so with Thanos. This movie is Thanos' story. That's really how I would recommend you going in to watch this movie. This movie, Thanos is the protagonist. This is his mission, to rid the universe of half of its population so that it can thrive. Which on paper sounds very evil and menacing, but then when you start thinking about it and you start hearing his reasoning, you go, okay, you kinda have a point, but you're killing people, and it's like... I mean, he's using basic science. I mean, it's proven that an environment can't survive with an overpopulation. And here on Earth, I think I heard like sometime in like 2025 or 2050 that we're gonna have 9 to 10 billion people on this planet. That's a lot of people here. I mean, I remember like a decade ago when it was like 6 billion people and we were still struggling for resources. How are we gonna survive in 20 to 25 years? Well, you give Thanos the Infinity Stones. That's how we survive, maybe. Now, what I'm always curious going into these team-up films, you know, the first Avengers, the second Avengers, heck, even Justice League, I'm always wondering about, okay, is everyone gonna get, like, equal time on screen? Is anyone kind of gonna be left out? And with this movie, I thought everyone got an excellent share of the screen time, and everyone felt important to the story. In the first Avengers, it was Hawkeye. He was kind of just there, and then the second Avengers, I think Black Widow was kind of the one, you know, on the outskirts, but here I felt that everyone was on screen and felt like they were a part of this, which is unbelievably impressive because there are like 4 times the amount of characters in this movie than there were in the first Avengers. And I don't have time to go through what I thought of each performance of this movie. We'd be here forever. I can talk about some of the standouts that I had, particularly the Guardians of the Galaxy, even more specific, Dave Bautista as Drax. By far, my favorite MCU character. This guy has such perfect comedic timing. It's uncanny. And I don't think that it's laughs and jokes just to do them. It actually makes sense for who this person is. He's a simpleton. He's a dumbed down doofus. He's still a hilarious time whenever he's on screen. It was really cool seeing the interaction between Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. Those were 2 people that have kind of been rivaled with each other, that were kind of compared to each other, like they're basically the same person. So it was really cool seeing them both on screen together and trading quips back and forth. I really like the choice that they made with the Hulk and Bruce Banner in this film about how they're kind of butting heads, and I'm really looking forward to see where they take that in the future. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany had great chemistry with each other, and I love their little arc in this film. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I mean, what a delightful kid! And Josh Brolin again as Thanos is magnificent. I was not expecting such a gut punch, deep, thought-out character slash villain like what he gave us here. In terms of the visual effects, I thought they all looked seamless. It was beautiful. The action set pieces were just absolutely stunning and a lot of fun to watch. Something that is starting to bug me about these MCU films, though, is that all of these like metal suits now, like with Iron Man and Black Panther, they're all with this nanotech. Which, is that a thing? It seems like everyone has it now, so whenever they want, the suit just kind of pops on. And I think in some instances it works, but I kind of feel it was a little overkill here. Everyone, whenever they want, whenever we want to have the actor have FaceTime, oh, the mask just goes, hey guys. And I love the relationship between Thor and Rocket Raccoon in this film. The whole side story that they had with this film, it built to an awesome climax where you're just like, yeah! Speaking of climaxes, oh boy, not gonna spoil it, but if you watch people coming out of the theater going in, you kind of have an idea of what's going to happen. People are walking into the film like, huh, it's the Avengers, woo! And then they come out of the film like, and another little thing that I have to comment this film on is its score. Now, when it comes to the MCU films, I haven't been a huge fan of the scores in each film. Alan Silvestri with this movie, though, I just felt myself going, this music is doing it for me. It is fitting so well into each scene, and it's representing each character's emotions just beautifully. We have the original Avengers theme in there, which I actually do like, and then there's a little twist where it's a little piano score, and I think that's just, it's such a nice touch. So guys, in the end, Avengers Infinity War is magnificent. I was not expecting such a heartfelt, gut-punching film like the one that we got here. But you know what? If that's what we need to get the rest of the audience in my theater to kind of shut up, get off their phones, and to stop annoying me, you know, give me more of it. Seriously, it did not take long for the audience to go, oh, okay, yeah, we're in for a serious ride here. Okay, I will shut up, I will turn off my phone, and I will pay attention. Which is what you should do in the theater anyway. And we have stellar performances from everyone in the cast. There was not a weak link here. Josh Brolin delivers probably the greatest comic book villain that we've ever seen on screen, in particular with the MCU. There are some awesome cameos. Some people that you didn't think weren't showing up do show up in this movie. It's a lot of fun to be had. This movie was bold. It wasn't like any of the other MCU films that we've had, which is just shocking to me. And because of that, I have to give Avengers Infinity War 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
All right, let's get
I'm having a hard time being objective with this movie. Are there some things that maybe could have been tweaked a little bit differently? Yeah, sure, but the overall package that we got deserves a 5 out of 5. This was great. And when it comes to ranking this one against the other MCU films, this one, it's up there. I think eventually I am going to do an MCU ranking list on my YouTube channel, so I don't want to go ahead and spoil that, but look for this movie near the top. Alright everyone, so next time it's going to be episode 87 of Caleb Watches Movies. We are getting closer to episode 100, and next time we are going to be talking about my favorite film from 2017, which there were a couple kind of competing for the top spot, but the one that I decided on, I haven't stopped thinking about it since I saw it. It's one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel. For those of you that know me, you probably know what it is. I wish we had more time. Oh God. Oh, it's starting already. So everyone, have you seen Avengers Infinity War? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my favorite movie from 2017. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys. Hey everyone, I don't feel so good.